Listen carefully to what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to discuss is something I discovered recently. Dad, I'm not a leader. I can't be a leader. I'm not even good at pretending to be a leader. You see, I've always had this conviction that I'm going to be great someday, but I've always believed that I'm not equipped to be a leader someday. I'm not as big as the whale to eat you as you fail or force you as you build. So how can I lead some persons? I'm not as wise as the serpent to shelter like the tent, to figure out the trend. So how can I lose my friends? I'm not as tall as the Hyperion tree whose branches are long enough to shelter the free, nor am I seductive as the apple of Eden whose influence can free great minds from the den. I come from a poor background, where the society has been sold to the ground, where the shy are taught to hide, the curious shut in a box to stay quiet, where amazing dreams are laid to rest for the ignorant to chew like a pest. I've been so convinced that nothing on this earth, on this planet will follow when I march. But that was before I met him on my screen, as he spoke so certain like a desperate scream. It was a Sunday morning that I saw this man speaking so loud and certain, and as I listened, my body vibrated as though there was fire on my skin. And he said, everyone is born to lead. We're all born with the leadership spirit to lead, just as the first man was given dominion over all of creation to lead. But some die without knowing that they are born leaders, which is why the cemetery is the richest place filled with untapped leaders. Now, just like the king of the jungle, to be a leader, you don't have to be the tallest, wisest, smartest, heaviest, or the strongest, because with all of these defects, the lion is still the leader. Okay, let's take a good look at these leaders. Mahatma Gandhi, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Clinton, Steve Jobs, Michael Faraday, Jesus the Christ. Now, if you would observe, some begged to go home in a box or sleep with the fishes. Some came from a poor background. Some were not as wise nor smart, but they all had one thing in common, and that's attitude. That's what separates the lion from the animal, the Hyperion from the tree, the father from the children, the ignorant from knowledge, the wise from the mediocre. That's what separates the leader from the follower. But you've already known that you are God's creation, created for the purpose of ultimate domination. Your manifestation has been his eternal orchestration. So how can you claim to be an aberration when he says you're his proud production? You ought to be careful how you talk about someone else's poetry, because you are purified, shaped, and uniquely designed as in the potter's foundry. And so you carry the full embodiment of attitude. And it was in that moment I realized something, that I'm not a leader, I am the leader.
With the golden beams of the sun's rays falling,
our black skins have kissed the naked soils, our perspirations have risen out of our passions, our voices are dead silent, our moans filled with ecstasy.
You see, being grateful is not an activity but a vehicle that takes you to greatness.